The worst thing he stole wasn't my money. It was my confidence in my own judgment. At 74 years old, after raising 3 children, surviving breast cancer, and standing beside the same husband for 51 years, I believed I could recognize a dishonest person within minutes. Experience, I told myself, was the best protection against deception. I couldn't have been more wrong. If you stay with me, I'll tell you how one friendly neighbor emptied nearly everything my husband and I had spent a lifetime building. More importantly, I'll tell you why the greatest betrayal wasn't his lies. It was the fact that I ignored the people who loved me because I preferred believing the stranger who made me feel less lonely. When Harold died, the silence inside my house became unbearable. For 51 years, every morning had begun with the smell of coffee before sunrise. Harold always woke first. He would hum the same old country song while frying eggs, even though he couldn't carry a tune if his life depended on it. The morning after his funeral, I woke expecting to hear him. Instead, I heard my refrigerator humming. That was the loudest sound in the house. Loneliness doesn't arrive all at once. It slips into your routine. The empty chair at breakfast. The untouched side of the bed. The second cup that no longer needed washing. Within 3 months, I had stopped cooking real meals. Soup from a can became dinner. Toast became breakfast. Some afternoons I realized I hadn't spoken a single word all day. Then Daniel moved in across the street. He looked about 60, always smiling, always waving. The first time we spoke, he noticed me struggling to carry groceries. "Mrs. Collins," he said, lifting 2 heavy bags before I could answer, "Harold would never forgive me if I let you do this alone." Hearing my husband's name made my eyes fill with tears. Daniel apologized immediately. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you." "You didn't," I whispered. "You remembered him." That sentence should have frightened me. Instead, it comforted me. He began stopping by every few days. Sometimes he mowed my lawn. Sometimes he replaced a broken light bulb. Sometimes he simply sat on the porch while we talked. He listened. Really listened. He remembered small details. My favorite flowers. Harold's military stories. Emily's wedding. The names of my grandchildren. It felt wonderful to matter to someone again. My daughter Susan wasn't impressed. "Mom," she said one Sunday after church, "don't you think he's around a little too often?" I laughed. "You're being suspicious." "I'm being careful. Not everyone wants something." She sighed. "I hope you're right." I was certain I was. Daniel never asked for money. Not at first. Almost a year passed before he mentioned investing. "I retired early because I made smart decisions," he told me one afternoon. "I help a few friends manage their savings. I don't charge them. I just hate seeing banks take advantage of older people." It sounded reasonable. He showed me neat folders filled with numbers. Charts. Statements. Everything looked professional. He never pressured me. That was the clever part. He simply planted ideas. A week later he'd casually mention another opportunity. Another family he had helped. Another success story. Trust grows quietly. So does danger. My son Michael tried warning me. I looked him up. So almost nothing about his past makes sense. "You're overreacting." "Mom, please. You don't know him like I do." I still remember the disappointment on Michael's face. "No," he answered softly. "I know you. And you're lonely." I slammed the door after he left. Those words felt cruel. Now I know they were loving. 6 months later Daniel arrived carrying several forms. "Nothing complicated," he assured me. "This simply allows your savings to earn more interest." I've already filled out most of it. I barely read a single page. After all, why would I? I trusted him. The first sign came 3 weeks later. The bank called asking about an unusually large transfer. Daniel answered before I could. Routine investment, he smiled. They always verify these things. I believed him. Another month passed. Then another. The account statements stopped arriving. Daniel explained they had switched to digital reporting. I'll print everything for you. He never did. The truth arrived on a rainy Tuesday morning. 2 detectives knocked on my front door. Mrs. Collins? Yes? We need to ask you about Daniel Foster. My knees weakened before they even finished the sentence. He isn't Daniel Foster. Those 4 words changed everything. His real name wasn't Daniel. He had done this before. Different states. Different widows. Different names. By the time police found him, he had disappeared with nearly $400,000. Almost every dollar Harold and I had saved. I sat at my kitchen table staring at the detectives. I signed everything. One of them nodded gently. He was very good at making people trust him. But I should have known. He looked directly at me. No. You should have been able to believe kindness without fearing it was a trap. I cried harder after hearing that than I had during the entire investigation. The money was gone. But something even more valuable had disappeared. My faith in myself. For weeks I couldn't look my children in the eyes. Susan visited every evening anyway. One night she quietly placed an old photograph on the table. It showed Harold standing behind me with both hands on my shoulders. Written on the back, in Harold's careful handwriting, were words I'd never seen. If I leave first, promise me you'll let the children help you. Independence is a wonderful thing until it becomes loneliness wearing a proud face. I broke. Not because of the money. Because Harold had understood something about me decades before I ever did. I had always mistaken needing people for weakness. The following Saturday I invited my children and grandchildren to dinner. For the first time in years, I admitted everything. Every embarrassing detail. Every signature. Every warning I ignored. When I finished, nobody criticized me. Nobody said, "We told you so." Susan simply reached across the table and held my hand. "We weren't trying to control you, Mom. We were trying to stand beside you." That sentence healed something the police never could. It's been 5 years now. Financially, I'll never recover completely. I sold the house and moved into a smaller cottage. I no longer have the retirement Harold dreamed of giving me. But I have something stronger than pride. I have people. Now, whenever a widow joins our church support group, I always tell her the same thing. The first person who rushes to become your hero deserves the slowest trust. Real love doesn't hurry you. Real friendship doesn't isolate you. Real kindness never asks you to keep secrets from your family. If someone says, "Don't tell your children, they'll only worry," that sentence should sound louder than any alarm. Looking back, I don't hate the man who stole my savings as much as I hate the loneliness that opened the door for him. Loneliness makes applause sound like affection. Attention feels like love. And kindness, even fake kindness, can feel like rescue. So if you're sitting alone today, convinced that asking for help makes you a burden, let me ask you something. Would you rather inconvenience the people who truly love you? Or make room for someone who only pretends to? I learned the answer $400,000 too late. I hope you never have to.